If you've played Minecraft before, then you've definitely built at least one house. And everyone includes the exact same rooms. A bedroom, a kitchen, maybe even a living room with a classic Minecraft sofa. But today I want to show you 7 room ideas that you can include in your next house. All of these ideas are rooms that some real houses include, but yet I never see in Minecraft houses. I'm going to show you a couple of isolated designs for each room type, and then at the end of the video I'll take you inside this giant house that I built, which includes all of the rooms that I'm going to go over, so you can see how they would actually fit into a house layout wise. But before I begin, I'm going to post the world download at 2,000 likes. So if you want to explore anything more closely, please consider leaving a like and also subscribing and hyping the video. I really do appreciate it. Anyway, let's begin with the first room type, which is a home gym. I've created 3 examples of home gyms, each with a slightly unique twist. As I mentioned, these are just ideas of how the rooms would look and not designs to copy entirely. This first example is meant to be a very clean home gym, with it being very simplistic and modern with these white walls and floor. This is basically just a gym, but scaled down a lot to just include the equipment that you'd want to use on a daily basis. You'd only see a room like this in a very expensive house. Me and my friend Squeaky Juice built a few pieces of equipment. There's this pull down machine, as well as a simple bench press design, this large rack of dumbbells to lift, as well as a boxing bag, a larger dumbbell, and a treadmill and exercise machine. You'd probably only need about 2 or 3 pieces of equipment to make it a home gym, but I wanted to really inspire you with lots of ideas, so that you can pick your favorite and make it your own. I also built this boxing based home gym. It's fully focused around boxing, as you could probably guess, with this boxing ring in the corner of it, which really helps to just give the room a lot more character. I think the more gritty brick walls also match this type of gym a lot more. Finally, here's one last example. It's once again a more generic design, but I just wanted room to build some more exercise machines, these mostly being for your arms and your legs in this room. But moving on to a smaller room idea that you could cram into basically any corner of a house, this is a pet room. Most houses don't have a room dedicated to pets, but some do, and I think that more should, to be honest. This first one is designed for cats specifically, with this small cat tower over here, and a small food bowl made just by using a flower pot. I also added in a big cat bed, a scratching tower, and just a box that they can sit on if they want to. A room like this I think could just be really cozy in a house, especially if you have pet cats in your house anyway. There's also this example over here for dogs. You could obviously build one of these rooms for any pet type, or for multiple to share. Next up is my favorite room type that I worked on, which is a walk-in wardrobe. I finally switched my Minecraft to the newest version specifically for this room, as shelves work perfectly to display your clothes on. There are also plenty of armor stands with end rods as the clothes racks. If you have lots of armor in your house, this room could actually be pretty practical. In the middle there's this small watch table, and there's even some potions over here as perfume bottles. This example is pretty similar but with a darker color scheme, which I think works a bit better, but it would obviously depend on the house that the rooms are in. There's even a small seating area in this one, as well as a vanity mirror made using some banners. I don't think I've ever seen a Minecraft house with a walk-in wardrobe, but having one of these attached to your bedroom really makes a house feel so much more grand. But moving on, I want to show you some pantry designs. These are kind of like the walk-in wardrobes of the kitchen, just being small rooms to keep food in. As you can tell by the example, these rooms would never be very big. A pantry is never going to be the coolest room in your house, unless you really love food, but it mostly just helps to make your house feel more lived in. This example here is more of a wine cellar with loads of barrels and kegs. This room would look really cool in a cellar. This more modern pantry is slightly different though, as it has a small kitchen area. This is called a butler's kitchen. A lot of big mansions have these for private chefs to cook in, rather than using the main kitchen. It fits well in a pantry just to make it slightly more interesting inside. Next up, this is more of an expansion to a house rather than a room type, but it's a conservatory. This is basically just a glass room, which is normally built after a house is completed to extend it and give it a bit more room. With all of these, a house would be attached on this back wall here, so there'd be a door connecting the room here. This one is more of a relaxing area with just a couple of seats. You could just come into here and relax in the evening with a book. And here's a bit of a darker design, which just has a small private pool inside. There are even a couple of sun lounges, as the room could get pretty hot inside on a sunny day, considering it's made out of glass. Because of that, I also included quite a few flowers inside, as it would be a good place for them to live. And the last example that I made over here is just a dining area. Normally these would be connected to a kitchen inside of the house, giving a big area for any family meals to take place if your house is a bit too small inside. As I mentioned before though, the best thing about a conservatory is that you can even add one to a finished house, as long as there's room next to it. Another room you can probably add to any house is a laundry room, as they're pretty small. This would normally be upstairs or connected to the kitchen, and a lot of modern built houses seem to have one of these nowadays. The first design that I made is, as usual, very modern, with this simple washing machine design made using shelves. There's also a wardrobe for clothes and an ironing table which really ties the room together. There's also a small laundry basket over here, which you can make with just a composter surrounded by signs. Here's also a slightly more unique design, which could fit into a more rustic house. This one has a lot more storage with loads of shelves. I just filled them with buttons and banners though to make them look like actual shelves. Once again, this room has no practical use, but I really like it. Finally, similar to the conservatories, these are for outside of your house. But I just built a couple of shed designs. Most Minecraft houses, or more specifically gardens, don't seem to include one of these, even though most houses have one in real life somewhere in the garden. First is a pretty simple modern design, just built using quartz with a shelf trim around the bottom. Inside, I decided to make this one kind of like a greenhouse with loads of plants. It came together really nicely. Moving on to this design though, it's very similar to the first shed, but with a slanted roof this time. Inside, I made it more like a workshop. My granddad used to make model trains in his shed, so I put a minecart in here to represent one and some other tools to make them. And lastly, there's this design, which is a bit more all over the place. It's meant to look more messy in here like a storage room, which has just become flooded with barrels and boxes. But now that I've shown you all the room types, I want to take you around a house that I built, which has every room you would normally have in a house, as well as these new rooms to help show where everything would fit, and how they'd look in a proper scenario. Okay, and we're inside the house. It's quite a small scale in here. It's meant to be very realistic, but I'm gonna kind of gloss over all of the rooms that you'd find in a regular house, like this eating area, and on the other side we have a small lounge area with a giant TV. But the first area you'll find some new rooms in is over here in the kitchen. This is actually where you can find two of the new rooms. Over on the left you'll be able to find the laundry room, where I've just got these washing machines like before. And it's a very small room in the actual house, but with a really nice window that looks into the garden. And across on the other side of the kitchen, you'll be able to find the pantry. And I think this helps to just really flesh out the kitchen, having these extra rooms. It's so cool having these here. This one's actually built under the stairs as well, and so I just turned this bit into a small cubby to make use of the room. But I just love how it ties this entire kitchen together. And then following on this way, you'll be able to find the pet room in here. And I didn't add too many distinguishing factors that make it a pet room. I wanted it to be quite open, just like a room you could relax in even if you weren't with your pet. And then finally over here, there's just another small lounge area. But if we run all the way to the other side of the house, this house looks so much bigger on the inside than it does on the outside. There's just this small bathroom area over here and a small office area. And then over here, you'll be able to find the home gym. Just like I said, you don't need that many pieces of equipment. And so I just added a giant weight, a treadmill, and some more weights over here. I really like how open this room is with all the windows. And I also really love the air conditioner design up here, which is perfect just to make sure that it doesn't get too hot in here. But now, if I can find my way upstairs, over here, there's a couple more rooms up here, and I don't want to go over the actual house too much, but I love how open this roof design is. But continuing the tour, we have another bedroom over here. This will probably be a visitor bedroom. And then following over here, we have, once again, another guest bedroom. And here we have my favorite bedroom, as it's got my favorite type of room in it, which is a giant walk-in wardrobe. This is like the ultimate flex to have in your bedroom. I really love how this looks so much, and it makes the whole bedroom come together so nicely. But the last few rooms that we've got in here, we've got this small bathroom over here, and then there's just another lounge area over here. This house has quite a lot of lounge areas, as they're really good for filling up space. The final room type that I've added, which I'm going to show you, is outside. It's a very big garden out here, which I really like, but there's a small shed over here, which uses the same design that I already showed you, so it's nothing too special, but it's just filled with a bunch of junk. It looks a lot nicer though than there being nothing in this corner. I was going to add a conservatory, but honestly I forgot, but this is exactly where it would go, attached to the back of the house. But instead I got a giant pool, so I guess that's a bit of an upgrade. As I mentioned, if you want to explore this for yourself, I'll be leaving the world download at 2,000 likes in my Discord for free. I'll leave a link to join my Discord in a pinned comment below. Please do make sure to comment which room was your favourite, and also let me know if you have any ideas for rooms that I could include in a part 2. Thank you so much for watching, goodbye.